Namaste yogis, and welcome to Lifted Lotus Yoga. My name is Lacey, and as always it's an honor to be your guide. In this practice I'll be guiding you through a yin sequence against the wall. We'll be using the wall almost the entire time. So I'd like you to get yourself a blanket, lay it down on your mat just like this to give your torso a little bit of support. And then I'd also like you to grab yourself either a belt or a strap and create a loop within it, a rather large one. Once you have those things together and ready, find yourself on your mat and I'll meet you there. Once you have all your props set up, your blankets laid out, you have your strap or your belt ready to go with its loop, go ahead and bring your sit bones down onto the mat. Scoot your hip that's closest to the wall really close against the wall to where it touches. Roll down onto your side, scoot a little closer to the wall, and then swing your legs up the wall and bring your back down onto your blanket. You might need to scooch and shimmy yourself a little closer against the wall to where the glutes touch, legs are supported, back is nice and rested. Go ahead and reach over for your strap. Find your loop. Bring your legs down just enough to where you can bring your legs to the inside of the loop and then bring that loop all the way down to about mid-thigh. Bring the buckle of your belt or your strap in between the legs so it doesn't cause any tension on the skin. And then tighten your belt or your strap to where it feels comfortable to allow the legs to just relax. That way you don't have to worry about holding the legs up there. They're nice and supported through the strap and the wall. Once you feel set up there, go ahead and rest the hands wherever you like them. They can rest on your belly or down on the earth next to your body, or you can bring them up over your head, resting your arms out wide, getting a little bit of an opening through the chest, the shoulders perhaps. You can choose to close the eyes or focus on something above you. Legs up the wall is a fantastic pose for calming down the heart, relieving pressure in the back, slowing down the circulatory system, and calming down your nervous system. This posture will put you into a rest and digest or rest and repair response. So you're nice and relaxed, your parasympathetic nervous system is turned on. We're going to be here for a few more minutes, so while you're here, just let your breath breathe naturally. You're not forcing it or manipulating it in any way, you're just letting it breathe. Yin is a meditative practice, so as we hold these postures for a long time, allow yourself to soften into the quiet. You might feel the need to turn the chin side to side maybe. You might feel the need to wiggle the toes a little bit. You might feel the need to adjust the arms. Any of those needs arise for you, go ahead and listen to them. Take care of them. We're only here for about 3 more rounds of breath. take one more, but good breath here. Big inhale. And maybe an open mouth exhale. Perfect. If your eyes were closed, go ahead and flutter them open now. Bring your hands onto that strap and loosen the strap enough to where you can bring your legs out from the loop. And then you can just set that strap off to the side. We're not going to need it anymore. From this point, I'd like you to bring your legs out wide into what's called a wall splits. Now, this can look any width to you. So your legs can be this wide, they can be super far out wide, whatever feels right. But allow this wall to support you. So kind of gently press the legs into the wall, just enough to where you feel grounded against the wall. You can rest your hands either on the outsides of the thighs, on the belly, or again, you can rest your arms up overhead if that feels good to you. And then allow yourself to soften into the pose. Letting gravity do the heavy work, maybe feeling your legs softly widen as you're here, the longer you're here. Notice any sensation that might be coming up for you while you're here. Maybe your legs are talking to you as they press into the wall. Maybe it's a stretch or a release you're feeling through the inside or outsides of the thighs. Maybe the pressure in your low back against the earth is calling your attention. Whatever sensation you're feeling here, it's perfectly fine. It's exactly what you're supposed to be feeling. Allow yourself to just drop into it for the last few minutes we're here. Taking about 5 more rounds of breath here. Last 2. Bringing your hands to the thighs, I want you to just slowly bring the feet in to meet each other. Let the soles of the feet meet, knees still be out wide. You can bring your hands, keep your hands to the outsides of the thighs, and just let the elbows rest against the earth. Slight support there through the hands. Let the feet just meet, maybe roll out slightly. Again, letting the wall act as the support. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze onto something against the wall or the ceiling. Using this time in your pose to be very inwards, focusing on sensations or thoughts maybe running through your mind, and allowing yourself to not label those thoughts or sensations good or bad, but just to notice them, to act as a witness of yourself. Maybe the longer you're here, the more you notice the heels sliding closer towards the groin. If this is becoming too uncomfortable for you, just simply slide the feet a little bit back up the wall again. Let the process start over. Don't be afraid to turn the head side to side if it's calling to you. And then deepen your breath while you're here, letting the inhales be very full and the exhales very long. It's about 5 more rounds of breath left. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Perfect. Bringing the hands to the outsides of the knees, gently guide the knees back together, right over the chest. Hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze them in. Maybe wrapping your arms around the shins or right below the kneecaps. Letting your feet just rest lightly against the wall. Take a couple more rounds of breath like this. Releasing your arms from around the legs. Go ahead and lengthen the legs back up the wall. Feels so nice. Stretch the toes, point the toes. Maybe take your right leg away from the wall and do circles with your ankle, going both directions. And then release that right leg back against the wall. Take the left leg again away from the wall, do circles with that left ankle, both directions. Release that left leg back against the wall. And we're going to take a figure 4 variation against the wall here. I'd like you to identify the right leg and then cross that right ankle underneath the left knee, so just below the left knee. This might be enough of a hip opener for the right hip. It might feel great just like this. If you'd like to go a little bit further, slide the left foot onto the wall, kind of slightly bending the left knee. And then stop where it feels right to you. You can slide the left foot closer, but the minute the tailbone starts to roll off of the mat, away from the earth, you've gone a little too far. Slide the left foot back up against the wall to where that tailbone stays rested against the mat. Curl your right toes in towards your knee if you like, and you can bring your right hand just to the inside of that right knee and just a little bit of support there. You can wedge the elbow down underneath the knee and then just rest the left hand. And close the eyes. And allow yourself to be in the pose. If you feel your mind wandering to places outside of this moment, bring your attention into your breath, especially in this pose. Start to notice how your breath feels here and what it affects. Maybe notice with big inhales, you feel a little more of a stretch through the hip on the right side. Maybe with your exhales, you feel yourself soften into the pose, soften into the back, soften through the face. Maybe there's places that your breath feels restricted or a little tight or tense. Just notice it without labeling it good or bad. Let's take just about 3 more rounds of breath here. And last round of breath. Next, inhale, start to straighten the left leg onto the wall again. And then unhook the right ankle from the left knee and straighten the right leg up the wall to meet the left. Perfect. And coming straight into the other side, identify the left leg and cross the left ankle just underneath the right knee. Creating that figure 4 on the other side. Again, you can choose to stay just like this. This might be perfect for you. Or you can slide the right foot onto the wall and start to bend the right knee towards the chest. Now remember, you don't want that tailbone to roll up, so the minute you feel that it does, go ahead and bring that right foot back up the wall until you feel the tailbone resting against the earth again. Bringing that left hand just underneath the left knee onto the inside of the thigh. You can wedge that elbow there onto the earth to give your left knee a little support if you need it. Otherwise, you can let it hang in space if that feels uncomfortable. Relax the right hand and just let yourself drop into the pose. Softening the face, softening the gaze, whether you choose to close the eyes or focus on something out in front of you. Part of the magic of yin is holding the pose for so long. Knowing that these long holds help get into the deep spaces of our bodies, like our joints, our tendons, our ligaments, our fascia. If you're feeling like it might be difficult to surrender here, just fixate on your breath. Let your breath captivate your mind to where you're not thinking about time. You're just thinking about how your breath feels. About 3 more rounds of breath. Last breath. Next inhale, start to straighten the right leg up the wall. Unhook the left ankle from the right knee and straighten the left leg up the wall as well. Maybe you want to wiggle the legs out a little bit. Maybe you want to take your right leg away from the wall and wiggle it. Take your left leg away from the wall and wiggle it. Perfect. Now go ahead and slide the feet down the mat, or down the wall, I should say, and bringing the knees into your heart, hugging your knees into your chest like we did before. We're going to take a twist against the wall. So bring your arms out wide into a cactus or a T. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, gently drop the knees over towards the right side. Using the wall as a guide for your feet, let the feet rest against the wall. You can have your knees bent as deeply or as wide as you'd like. Keep the shoulders resting onto the mat. So if your left shoulder is lifting up, see if you can press it down slightly. You can choose to keep the chin pointed to the sky or turn the chin to the left, opposite direction of the knees. Letting yourself just surrender. Be soft within the space you've created here in this twist. Let's take about 5 more rounds of breath. Last round of breath here. Next inhale, start to slowly walk the feet or guide the knees back up to center. And then coming into the other side, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Adjusting your feet against the wall to where it feels more comfortable for you. Making sure the right shoulder stays rested onto the mat. Choose to keep the chin to center or softly turn it to the right, opposite direction of the knees. No matter where you have your gaze, soften the face. Just about 5 more rounds of breath. Last 2 here. From here, I'd like you to just roll onto your left side and slowly start to press yourself up onto your knees. Crawl your way to the top of the mat. Swing your feet out to the inside of the room. And just simply lay yourself down to where your head faces the wall, feet face out. Coming into a Shavasana, our final pose. As you come into that final resting place, your Shavasana, you can choose to rest your hands wherever you'd like, on your belly, by your side, overhead. And just allow yourself to lay completely flat here. If you'd really like to, you can slide something underneath the knees if that's something you need. Otherwise, just rest against your back, legs long against the earth, letting the spine be really long, and everything very even. Maybe while you lay here, notice how soft you feel. Notice any sensations you're feeling through the back of the body, the legs, the arms. Notice your energy, what kind of mood you're in. And again, do all this noticing without judgment, without labeling it good or bad, but just simply to notice, to know, to witness. I'd like to leave you here in this rested state for as long as you choose. This is your practice, your time. Before you decide to move on with your day, know that the divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Namaste.